Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Abegwhosendme. If you are entrepreneur or a wannabe entrepreneur, this is the podcast you should be listening to. My name is Titilayo Ekundayo, your host for today. You can follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Abegwhosendme is the handle you should follow. And I'm sure you enjoy this episode, so do well to share with your friends, tell them about it. And I'm sure they would thank you for it. So today we have an amazing young man in the studio. He wears many hats, but it can be streamlined into three main areas: brand, real estate, and humanity cum governance. He is Eniola Price. Eniola Oladapo is the founder of NotJustEniDesign, a branding and product design agency. Eniola, it's good to have you in the studio today. Can you give us 5 shockers that you had? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These were the 5 things that shocked me when I transitioned from 9 to 5 to being an entrepreneur. 5 things that you weren't expecting, or maybe the scale at which you expected it wasn't the scale at which it happened.
So, I think first off, the reality is that it is not really easy to be an entrepreneur, even if you have capital. The journey, having a good financial background or investment, just makes the journey, it takes care of a part of the journey. It doesn't erode the fact that you're still going to go through that stress of being an entrepreneur. That stress, that journey, your journey is standard, is default. Yes, having a good financial investment or financial backing would help you, but you still have to go through that journey. So that is one of the shockers.
Okay, like in short, there's a standard price to pay, and your money won't pay the price. I'm just trying to summarize what I think you said. There's a standard price to pay, and your money will not pay the price.
Yes, the journey is the journey. You cannot substitute it for something else. The journey is the journey. And another thing is having to understand that you need to keep up appearances, even when you don't feel good. You have to keep up appearances. You don't have anything. You don't have any reason to show up. So you have to record that video. You have to go for that event. You have to post that. You have to come up with that content, even on an empty stomach. Even when your girlfriend just broke up with you, or your boyfriend just broke up with you, or you're having issues or emergency, even you in the hospital trying to get well, you're still posting. You have to show up, and then you cannot show your experiences, your bad experiences. You only get this. Yes, it's not fair, but then that is how people trust your brand. They trust your brand based off of the experience, the good experiences. So you have to show up at any point in time. You have to show up, and show up wearing your best smile, even when you're feeling horrible.
So what's not the difference between I understand it. I think that's the most stressful part of it. To have to show up when you don't feel like it. To have to speak the English when you are in the middle of doubting yourself and all of that. But the question, let me chip in this question before we move forward, would be, so how do we find the delicate balance between faking it and between understanding that you have to show up? Do you get what I mean?
So I think they are mutually they are really the same thing to a large extent.
Okay.
You cannot say that that delicate balance between faking it and just showing up, because just like the cliche that says fake it till you make it, it's not so. If they are mutually exclusive, then you would say that when you're feeling bad because you don't want to fake it, you're going to wear a frown and talk to potential investors or your customers
in a solo mood. Okay.
That is bad for business.
It's bad, actually.
Yeah, yes. So even though you're feeling bad, fake it. You have to wear a smile. You just have to wear a fake smile. You have to actually believe in that smile. It's somewhat like I think I compared the entrepreneurial journey and this part of the journey as being a psychopath. It is crazy because you're feeling really bad. You have to wear a smile, and then you have to make that smile believable. You see, you have to wear a smile even when you're feeling horrible, and then you have to make that smile believable. This is tantamount to psychopathy. It's that crazy.
Yeah, it's actually that crazy, Eniola, and I think that I'm looking for the delicate balance here, because yes, you have to keep up the appearance. You have to. People won't believe in you if you don't even believe in yourself. So you have to show the confidence. You have to look for it. You have to sack yourself up. You have to look for find it anywhere, but just show up and show up well. But then I'm looking at the other side of, okay, so because it takes a lot of mental energy to feel it in a certain way and then convince yourself that, okay, we have to be real, we have to smile, we have to tell people you have this product, you have to believe in it, it can help you and all of that. That mental strain, how do we find, because there's a what's the name now? There's a research that says that a lot of entrepreneurs are depressed because of this up and down kind of feeling. So where's the delicate balancing? Okay, so don't show people on the outside the struggle, but then who do you show the struggle such that you maintain your sanity, such that you don't go down to the downward spiral of depression? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, you're absolutely correct. And we need not go search for data or take your research as the holy grail. I, as an entrepreneur, I'm depressed. I'm putting it out there. I'm depressed.
Oh
my
God.
Depression. Let me give you an example of my depression. Yesterday I was feeling so down, like I was feeling, it was crazy. And then I had to shoot a video. I had to, wear the smile, make it believable, shoot the video, attend meetings, content and everything. I had to do all that. And when I finished that, it still didn't change the fact, or it didn't change how I felt, depressed I, take a stroll to like feel the nature, feel the breeze on my skin, hear music, listen to music, as I stroll, maybe 20 kilometers or sort of. And then, I came back. It's not like I'm feeling great and awesome, but I'm feeling better. So what I tell people is find what makes you feel better, what detoxes, your that depression or that negativity. It might be music for you. It might be a good support system, and that is essential. A good support system, people cheering you on. That no matter what, they are asking you how far, how you did. You get people supporting you.
People that won't take your usual "I'm fine." People that won't take
fine,
the
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Let me give you an example of that as well, because I'm a bundle of examples. Sure, on Instagram, on my status, I posted a very nice picture, and you know what? Just like the norm, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you are boss, show us the way, cut us soap," and then I was replying them laughing, no be so. But the true friends message me. A true friend messaged me. I'm like, "Baba, have fun. How you did?" I was like, this journey, easy. And then like, okay, you know what? I'll send you 10K.
Wow.
And the person sent me 10K. That's a friend. That's a support system. That okay, yes, I'm seeing this, and the person just messaged me, commenting on that
fine picture that
a lot
you
of
posted.
people. The fine picture, but this person understands that this person is going through a journey. The Sakama J. You understand? And it's like, okay, let me send you 10K, and that 10K was a lifesaver at that point in time. And I told that person that this, if you know what you've done, it's a lifesaver, because at that point in time, I was on an empty stomach for more than 24 hours.
Wow.
And that person out of the blues just sent me 10K, and I said, okay, Baba, it's not easy. And when I thanked that person, you know what that person told me that really elevated me? And this is what I'm saying about support system and people pushing you. You understand? Encouraging you. He said, don't mention. It's a small thing. That is the definition of friends. That's what friends are for. Man, I was like, what? Like, what? I'm thanking you and you're telling me don't thank me. That's what friends are for. Like, I was like, wow. This person just woke up and said, sorry, this 10K is small. And then I'm like, okay, you don't know what you have done. I'm really grateful. I'm grateful for your support. You have always been beside me. It's like, yes, no, that's what friends are for. That's the barest minimum. So you imagine someone telling you that after doing something good for you, that gives you a kicker. That motivates you.
To exactly to succeed. To make them proud.
One of it. Yeah, that support system. You need that support system. Your support system might be your girlfriend. Your support system might be your brother and your sister. She's always doing that. She's the first customer. Whatever you're selling, she's the first person that buys it. Your support system might be your first customer is always your girlfriend, or your first customer is always that your friend. No matter what, he or she is buying your stuff. You launch something, he or she is interested, or your support system might be in that friend that you're launching this and he or she is using his or her network to promote your business. That person is always posting you on their status, like always, hyping you in that regard. So it's not just finance that is a support for you. It's people promoting you, people believing you. So, and for yourself, don't really rely on support system. Support system is good to have, but it's external. So what are the internal support? It might be music for you. It might be for me, it's exercise. I go jogging. When I jog, I do all this thing. It relieves me. It makes me better. So if you see me doing a lot of exercise,
Baba, they try pop up.
That I'm depressed. Yes, I'm trying to offload things. Yeah, so that is internal, and that you can control. So in as much as you want external support, look for bank on internal support system,
because that you can always control.
Have control over. Yes, you have control over. It might be music for you. Some people it might be movies. It might be romantic movies. Some people it might be novels. Romantic sci-fi novels. For some people it might just be an adventure. So yes, you don't have the funds to go to Yankari Reserve or whatever, or to travel to somewhere. Then take a stroll. Do you understand? Appreciate nature. Watch traffic. Watch the madness of Lagos traffic. Do you understand? Laugh. So when you know that you have gotten a good space, or you have gotten to offload a large part or a good part of your depression, is when that first laugh, that first smile, maybe you're just watching the craziness of traffic and then you smile or you laugh, you have gotten somewhere. So just find that internal compass that directs you to feeling good. It might be music, it might be anything. Just discover you, and then bank on it. And of course, look for external support system as well, in friends. External and internal, but bank on your internal support system,
because that you can always go to every time.
You just because if you don't do that, yes, you have to fake it. But when you fake it, you will come back to the realization in your own space. So that it would not. So you have to deal with that realization in your own space through external and internal support system. It keeps you going.
Wow, thank you very much, Eniola. That came up from keeping up with your parents, but I'm so glad that we mentioned that how important it is for you to have that support on the inside. On the inside, you'll be finding ways that you can let out these frustrations, these depressions, ways where you can see your situation as not as bad as it is. So for you is exercise, for me is long walks. I just go on a very long walk or pick a book for me. So thank you for that. I want to redirect us back to the initial flow of the conversation. So we're talking about 5 shockers, 5 shockers that you had when you were transitioning from 9 to 5 to entrepreneurship. And I must mention, in the light of the support system you mentioned, that Eniola has founded Pictured People. Did I call it right? It's Pictured, yeah?
Hey, you actually did pronounce it right. Pictured People.
Pictured People. So Eniola has founded Pictured People, a people-cultured-oriented community invested in reducing unemployment, improving employability, and detoxifying workspaces. So I'm not surprised that you took us down that lane of being part of a community that supports you. So back to the shockers. So you said number 1 is that your money does not remove you from paying the price of the journey. Number 2 is that you found out that you have to keep up appearances. That means that you have to show up looking clean, show up looking sharp, with your brightest smile, no matter, even if you've not eaten for the past 2 days, and all of that. So what will number 3 be? What was your number 3 shocker?
Freedom is a facade.
Baba.
Three would be freedom is a facade.
Baba is a facade. Oh God. Please
Freedom
continue.
is indeed a facade.
Is a facade.
At first, it feels good not to have to answer to like authority. You know, having that flexibility that you can do things on your own, in your own time, in your own space. But the fact that that freedom will be short-lived. When you get into the crux of, you know, your journey, you would appreciate that there's no freedom, because one, you wear many hats, and then you have to do things together. You have to do a lot of things. You're the content developer, you're the coding person, you're the delivery guy, you're everything, because you cannot afford ab initio, you cannot afford another member on your team. You cannot afford to pay someone else to do
Ab
it.
initio, yes.
So you have to do it, even when that is not your forte. Even when you don't know anything about that, then you have to learn.
In short, nobody is even on your back like that directly. But 3 a.m. you are working, 4 a.m. you're working, 5 a.m.
Yes.
you're working. Like, they'll be begging you to stand up from the work, because you know, if you don't work, you don't get results, you don't get money in, you don't get. So
Yes.
you just. In short, you are 3 times, if I must say, busier than a 9-to-5er. And unfortunately, you can't even close. So a 9-to-5er can leave the work and say, I cannot come and die because of somebody's organization. What is your own organization? You cannot close. You're on the bed, you're thinking of, oh, this idea, oh, if I do it like this, will it work? If I do it like that, will it work? So that point is we cannot overemphasize it, that the freedom, if you want to be an entrepreneur because you think that you have more time on your hands, please don't bother, because the freedom is a facade. You put more time to it. All right, Eniola.
So I believe that another shocker, I don't know, well, it's not really a shocker, because I know that the entrepreneurial journey is not easy, but I think to the extent that I feel it now is different.
The magnitude.
You're going to go on empty stomach. The mark is going to be big. The magnitude of that empty stomach. The fact is, more often than not, you would have to feed on your vision and your passion.
Exactly.
And that's what keeps you going. You believe, once you doubt that your vision, and there are a lot of times that you doubt your vision and your passion. Seriously, you will have doubt.
On the norms, yes.
Do you understand? But go back to the drawing table, detoxify yourself. Yes, detoxify yourself, do you understand? And come back to that initial state. You will always come back to that initial state. If your vision is true and your passion is true and pure, you will feel doubts at instances, but you will always come back. Your vision and your passion, you will always come back. Just like a comment from one of the famous actors. These two shall pass. So that doubt, these two shall pass.
That's the mantra. That's the mantra.
These two
shall pass.
Yes, that's the mantra. It will pass, but you will feel it, and the magnitude might be, it might be higher than you expect. So just prepare for the worst. I think I already I'm used to working alongside entrepreneurs. I thought I knew the extent
not the same thing.
To which the sacrifices. But I'm making more. I'm experiencing more than I expected. So I think that would count for the shortcut number 4. I really can't think. I know there are a lot of shockers,
Sugars,
but right now I really can't think of shocker number 5. But see, you just prepare to be shocked. No, just like our normal thing. Ego. Prepare for it.
Ego shock
you.
And I think that in a way,
just be prepared. It will shock you.
And I think that in a way, maybe that's part of the beauty of the journey, because the journey breaks you. It breaks you, and then it reintroduces you to yourself. So it's almost like a reformation process, and then you come out better as a person. Not even the business is one side, but first and foremost as a person, your ability to feel compassion, your tenacity is stretched, because no matter how much on paper you foresee the challenges, it can never be like real life. I think that life just structured it in such a way that it will stretch you and get you to that point, but the beauty is that you become better for it as a person. Okay, so I think if it's only 4 that you can remember right now, I think it's fine. I think
I just got another one. Yeah.
All right.
Which is more like the magnitude 2,
Okay.
and is that prepare as an entrepreneur or someone that wants to transition to entrepreneurship. Prepare for absolute failure. For me, I thought that you fail, like the magnitude of your failure might just be okay. You fail 60%, you fail 70%, but there's still a semblance of success. But let me tell you, the shocker is prepared for absolute 100% failure.
Like it can happen.
100%. Let me tell you, yes, it can happen. Let me give you an example. I told you I'm a bundle of examples.
Yeah.
I organized an online event trying to teach people forex trading. I did everything. The banner was there. I even promoted it. Spent like 10,000 plus on promotion. I got people to sign up. First failure was there were just 20 people that signed up. And I was expecting, I was already calculated, I'd done my numbers. I'd already calculated at least nothing less than 50 to 100 people. And I've done my calculations, run my numbers and everything. And then 20 people signed up. Okay, let's still kick off. I started it. At the end of the day, did you know that when it was time for them to pay, to show their commitment, none of them paid. 15 of them exited the platform.
Like straight up.
The rest, I sent messages to them, pleaded with them. Okay, did everything. I told them that 45 people had already paid. Do you understand? I got my friends to sign up as participants. And they were not participants, just to get a single naira, and I had to shut down that training platform, and that was 100% failure. So be ready if you know that shocker in my life, like 100% failure.
But in a way, there's a way we can spin it.
I was doing 9 to 5. I was just like, there's no way you can say. Even when I was doing 9 to 5, I didn't have 100% organizing workshops, events, and everything. But now that I'm saying, that can set you back, miles behind. But you keep pushing. That will give you a story. So, which is like an adjoint to this, is that just like you said, the experience will refine you. The experience would teach you a lot of things.
Exactly.
Be ready to learn.
Yeah.
It will teach you a lot of things. And you know what is now memento for me is a personal compass. I believe if I'm going through a hard time or a bad time, what I ask myself in that time, in that period, is that what am I supposed to learn? And I believe whenever I learn what I'm supposed to move away, I get success. I move from that situation.
Exactly.
So what are you supposed to learn?
Yeah, I wanted to point that out.
It has always been my compass. You know, it has always been my compass, and it's relevant to entrepreneurship. What are you supposed to learn? So with my 100% fit, you know, I learned a lot of things that, you know, maybe even my mentor wouldn't be able to.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to point out, that as much as it was 100% failure in terms of, say, nobody paid and the event didn't hold, I'm sure that there were a lot of things that you learned that will stay with you for life, that will save you some 1 million, some plenty million of naira or dollars in future. So yes, 100% failure in terms of, oh, this was the central objective, but there's always something to learn from every seeming failure. Something that would be, because which day was it? I was reading a book and I saw something very profound. Of course, I've always knew, it just reminded me that failure is actually part of success. It's not the opposite of success. It's part of the process of being successful. So, wow. Thank you very much, Eniola. Let me just reiterate the shortcast that you said, and then you leave our listeners with a parting notes. So, first shocker was is that there's always a price to pay. Your money doesn't insure you for paying the price. The second is that you have to keep up the appearance. That means show up even when you don't feel like showing up, or when you don't even feel like you believe 100% in the dream. Show up and bring your A game. Number three is that freedom is a facade. You don't try to be. Don't want to be an entrepreneur because you think that you have more time on your hands. It's a facade. You have more bosses this time. You have stakeholders. You have your staff. You have the government. 9 to 5, most times you probably just have your direct boss. But as an entrepreneur, you have your staff. You have yourself. You have stakeholders. You have the government. You have everybody to report to. Number 4 is the magnitude of the challenge is always more than, yes, you expect some setback, but the setback you get is usually more than what you think that you would get, and which we agree is part of the formation process, because part of being an entrepreneur is that you get to be broken and you get to be reintroduced to yourself such that you become better in terms of character and and discipline. So number 5 will be prepared for absolute failure. Absolute failure as regards that the project might not work at all. Be prepared for that. Have that at the back of your mind. But of course, there's something to learn in every situation, and failure is a part of success, not the opposite of success. Thank you very much, Eniola Price. We've really learned a lot from this conversation. Very much, Eniola. It was so much fun having you on the podcast today. Don't forget to follow at Eniola Price on Twitter and Instagram, and then at Abegwhosendme on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the rest. So till next time.